Welcome back to Sports Tonight. The Astros off tonight, so the perfect time to bring in Richard Oliver and talk a little bit Astros baseball. Our Sports Tonight baseball correspondent. Richard, how are you tonight, buddy?
Oh, doing great. Astros have won 7 out of 9, so we've got some good things to talk about.
Speaking of, let's get right to Justin Verlander and that performance last night, Richard. Complete game shutout for the man who continues to, I don't even like to say the phrase, continues to amaze, because this is the norm for him. It's not amazing anymore.
He has 68 innings or something this year, 1.1 ERA, top ERA, of course, in baseball. You know what? Here's what's important about Justin Verlander. A complete game, shuts out the Angels. That's an important series for the Astros to win 2 out of 3. Obviously, Verlander's been the leader for the last year plus for the Astros, season plus for the Astros. But you know, what he has done for that pitching staff is very interesting. It's a little checklist happening here. Verlander gets it done. Then Garrett Cole gets it done. Then of course, Dallas Keuchel gets it done. We go down Lance McCullers. You could go down the list of Hector, these guys saying we have got to one-up each other. I really like the way this team and these pitchers are forcing each other to up their games.
When we were down in West Palm Beach, when you would talk to the Astros, the big takeaway I got when you talked to each one of them about the leaders on the team, each one of them, to a man, would bring up Justin Verlander. Yeah. Tells you all you need to know, especially considering he hasn't been an Astro for that long. It's easy to forget that. 2 nights ago, Richard, when the Astros were able to beat the Angels for the first time in that series, they were down 3-1 late, and then 4 runs in the last 2 innings to come away with that one.
Yeah, and the big hit, of course, Jose Altuve with that bases clearing double down the left field line. Snapped an 0 for 16 for Jose Altuve, which is something, of course, he's been hitting the ball hard, but he's been striking out a lot, kind of overreaching a little bit, something we haven't seen from him much. But you talk about Verlander being the leader on the pitching side. Now it's Jose Altuve as the leader on the offensive side. The Astros have not been very good. What a timely hit. And you know, when we talk about how big those series are against the Angels, Hector, I wonder here in 2, 3, 4 months if we look back on that game as being as critical as any of them.
Follow up on that, Richard, because it was the Angels. How big was it to take 2 of 3 from LA?
It was big, and I think a lot of folks looked at that series as being kind of the Angels took that first game 1-0. They took advantage of the fact the Astros are just not hitting. It's been just one of those weird little first quarters of the season where the Astros are kind of sleepwalking a little bit offensively, but the pitching so ridiculously good. And the Angels, you had to win that series in LA. It's a statement, a little bit of a statement to say, look, we're still the World Series champions. And it also showed to me, Hector, that look, this is a team, again, they're not hitting the ball, they're not playing great baseball in a lot of different categories. The pitching has been absolutely stupendous. What will this team be like in a couple of months when you know that hitting's going to come around? Carlos Correa's invisible, Jose Altuve's been scuffling, George Springer's been hurt. We can go down the list. This is going to be a better team, and they're pretty good right now.
Yeah, despite everything you just mentioned, they're 28-17, and as you mentioned, a statement. First place in the AL West, so almost like they're saying to the Angels, the Mariners, the A's, maybe even the Rangers, we're still here, we're still at the top.
And the Mariners, of course, lose a very big player in Cano, of course.
Right.
Being suspended for a while. That's going to hurt them.
Huge loss that is going to have an impact there in divisional play here for the next several months. Looking ahead in the short term for the Astros here, Richard, the Indians, who won the American League Championship the year before the Astros did. Your thoughts on this series now coming up with Houston?
Indians have been scuffling a little bit too in the early going, kind of playing about 500 baseball, but this is a team that obviously is one of those benchmark teams. You've got to play well. And the Astros have got to play well at home. I find this 5-game homestand with the Indians coming in with a very good pitching staff very important for the Astros. They're hitting like .219 at home in Minute Maid Park. It's pretty incredible to see that happen. That's why this is an important series.
It is, and as is always the case for the Astros, at some point every series for some reason is a big series. But you know why that is? Because of the defending champs. Right. Everything comes with some kind of, maybe not pressure, but there's something at stake.
Target on your back.
You're a target on your back when you're playing for a repeat and a chance to win it all again. Rich, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
You're watching Sports Tonight, San Antonio's only nightly 30-minute sportscast with exclusive sports coverage you won't find anywhere else.